of sharing the season of joy, and we're back. On Christmas Day, we have to work. Yes, that's how we roll in this industry. It's Dailies today, right here on the Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigerian 4. I'm not alone. My name is Kofi Bartels.
And my name is Jimi. Disu. Good morning.
Compliments of the season to you.
Same to you. I can't find my phone.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Not to panic. A gift for an unknown person on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Please, this is a public service announcement. If you've seen Mr. Jimi Disu's phone,
take it to the government. The government needs this.
No, to the nearest police station.
Morning, everybody. Merry Christmas. Quiet as it is, and I don't want to use the word sad, but we're all alive and healthy, and that is enough. About hope, I told you I'm not a pastor. I'm a realist. I don't know whether to give you hope, but let's just enjoy today. Let's enjoy every day as it comes, okay? Right, good morning.
Good morning. Please feel free to follow us. We're streaming live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. We're streaming live on Facebook, Central Nigeria Info FM on that platform as well. On page 2 of today's The Punch, the following story catches the attention. FG, workers face gloomy Christmas over delayed December salaries. No, FG.
Yeah, not only FG. Even those who have salaries are finding it finding life quite difficult. But let's see what the Punch says. The Punch says that civil servants under the employment of the federal government are facing a low-key Christmas celebration following the delay in payment. This is unacceptable. The Punch also learned that federal workers suffered delayed salaries in 20. No, this is. I hope somebody will refute this, that federal workers were not paid before today. Findings by correspondents reveal that most federal workers received their November salaries during the second week of December. Multiple sources within the civil service told the Punch that the fault came from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, while other sources also noted that the delay was as a result of migration to a new payment platform. Speaking on the delayed salaries, a correspondent who visited the Federal Secretariat on Tuesday morning met with a few civil servants who expressed their grievances over the matter, and I guess he forgot to add their anger. A civil servant who spoke under the condition of anonymity out of regard for civil service rules. I keep telling our journalists, you don't need to put all these stories. Just say a civil servant. You're not compelled to name. But to start adding who spoke out of anonymity, out of regard, it's
too long.
Yes, I was trained to be very short and sharp. Yeah. Anyway, it says that, to be very honest, I'm not traveling for the holidays this year because I don't have the money. Most people are not traveling, so there's no problem with that. And November salaries came very late, and by the time we were paid, a lot of us were already in debt. You know, Kofi, if you have a payment cycle of your income and it doesn't come at the appropriate time, what you do is, if care is not taken, you over borrow. Okay? So by the time it then comes, it becomes meaningless. It's not a good way to live. Anyway, the long and short of the story is that the civil servants, most of them are not paid before Christmas, and I think that is, I don't need to stretch that. I leave the rest to your own imagination. But again, it still lends credence to what I say. The flip-flopping of this particular government regime has become a bit too embarrassing. There are things there is low-hanging fruits that any government should target, and that is payment of salaries, and indeed, if possible, bonuses. At a Yuletide period like this, it endears you to your people. And who are we? We're talking about civil servants, teachers, and so on. Teachers is local government. So these things should really not be happening. But what we get is what we get. We just hope God will see us through the rest of this 4-year tenure. And then it will be up to us if we're happy with what we're getting. We continue as is.
Some said people should see it as government helping them save their money, not to spend it and finish it too quickly.
Today is Christmas. That's
what I heard someone say.
Don't start with your theories. What is there? Because if you look at it, jokes apart, what is there to save in anybody's income?
Nothing.
I can't remember the last
Nothing.
time I had a savings account.
Nothing.
The principal reason being that if you do save anyway, by the time you need to reach out to the savings, the value of the money has gone down.
Nothing. You can't save
You can't
in this
save.
economy. You
This
can't
economy,
save.
oh.
Except you have some other things you're doing, bringing in foreign currency.
Maybe not foreign currency, but you do need an added income. Because you see, unfortunately, the higher your salary, the more you pay for the things that keep your status. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, so like, look at me, for example. Before, I used to be able to get by with filling my tank with 9,000 or whatever. 50,000 won't fill my tank.
Well, when last did you fill your tank?
3 days ago.
Oh, okay.
And that 50,000 lasts me an average of 10 days. Because guess what? I have a strong suspicion that the petrol that we use these days even evaporates on site.
Oh, yes. The MRS advert that was in the papers on Monday,
Yes.
where they were advertising that, it's now 899 naira or so
Yes.
coming back from MRS. So if they're saying that they now wrote at the bottom in fine print that their own petrol contains less sulfur.
So it doesn't evaporate.
And then remember that
They are running commercial for them.
no, well, it wasn't. It was
The marketing people are listening.
I remember the accusation
get
for the
it.
NNPC was that they are blending the petrol, and Dangote said his is purer, more pure, and all that. It was white.
What I do know is that almost for a fact is that there's no point even parking your car to save fuel, because even parked, the fuel evaporates. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hey.
So the idea of let me park this car and then there's no alternative. The other day, I wanted to go from here, this spot here, to my teacher's birthday party in Oregon. 23,700. That's what Bolt. So I had to stay back.
It was probably even Oregon. It was even Oregon here.
Yes. I stayed back.
Guess what? The tax increase is coming. In the midst
Taxi
of
or
that.
tax?
Tax increase is coming in the midst of that.
Yes, well, there's so many increases are coming in. The new year is going to be very tough. Don't be taken in by government propaganda. It's going to be very, very tough. By the time they are done with us May, June, you will know what's hitting you. It's going to be very, very tough.
To what end?
I honestly don't know. Maybe,
Are all of us going to be driving Honda Accords?
Yeah, referring to the president.
I mean, to what end?
That even doesn't help you. You see, I don't want us, if we go in that trajectory this morning, we won't talk about any other story. But I still get a sense that the bus that we are in is being driven with the Google Maps to Benin Republic instead of Benin City. I still get that. And that is not helped even by the uniform that the bus driver is wearing. I leave you to sort that out. I get that. I had that feeling even before the election, and up till now, I still get that feeling. More so after the speech that the Google Maps that's being used by this current government is telling them to go to Benin Republic instead of Benin City. Let's move on to the next story.
All right, the Punch is up next on page 3 and other pages with the news tidbits. It seems it's getting very hot in Ibadan or your state generally.
It's about what now? The weather?
No, this particular story. Tell us what you.
Oh, Sharia. No, I'm not talking about Sharia. Not on the day.
Okay.
Not on Christmas Day. I'm talking about Metro News.
Okay.
I'm not talking about.
All right.
See, people are raising all kinds of doors to divert attention.
Okay.
What Nigerians need to focus on now is how to get out of the current situation they are in, make up their minds early enough if they are happy with what they have, because 2027 is around the corner. So I'm not going to allow my attention to be diverted.
That's a good one.
So you have to start mopping up your mind now. Don't be caught unawares. If you're happy with it, so be it. That's no problem. But if you are not, then you need to know where on what side you'll be counted. You're not going to wait until 2026 before you start. 2025 is a very crucial year. So there are some things that you don't want to happen in 2027. You have to start to reject them now. You're not going to be waiting till that time and be caught unawares like we were caught about 18 months ago. A word is enough for the wise. So the news we have is a couple and accomplice jailed 18 months for stealing 5 million. People steal every day. Stealing is no longer an offense in Nigeria. It's probably what you call bad behavior. In fact, in Nigeria now, when you hear that somebody is stolen, either corruption or whatever, you tend to blame him for why did he allow himself to get caught? Maybe he shouldn't have bought that Jeep. Maybe he should have gone quiet. What's wrong with this? That's the kind of theories you get. Interpol has declared 14 Nigerians wanted for human and drug trafficking. The human traffickers are all over the place. I do get people who will be calling me to advise me. There's a particular lady who called me to ask for advice. Sir, there's a man who said he's an agent. He wants to take me to were they going to Libya or Turkey or whatever? Do not be a victim of human trafficking. And I think that if we were left to my own designs, this getting the government to go and rescue people who should have known from the onset before setting on this wild goose chase, I won't have anything to do with them. So let's all be very, very careful. You have all these funny looking faces of Nigerians who are declared wanted. There's no agent for any recruitment abroad. Don't be deceived. NAFDAC seizes 3.8 unregistered food products in Nigeria. Lawyer urges IG to probe alleged assault on colleague. There's an abandoned 2-year-old boy found at a Lagos dump site. So if you're looking for for your son or whatever,
is he still there?
Is he still at the dump site?
Yeah.
Well, as at the time I'm reading this, he's there. I don't know if he's been found there. Okay, so Lagos State news. Lagos State government is set to celebrate Badagry Festival. This looks quite interesting. On the 24th of December, Badagry Festival. Commissioner harps on impactful journalism. Foundation offers free medical care in Lagos. Where is this one? No, I won't announce it. I don't want any stampede.
God forbid.
But there's a Numbers Matter initiative that has a program, free medical outreach. One has to be careful with that these days. So that's about what you have in the... Also, there's a news here that Tinubu governors, lawmakers assure Nigerians of better economy. We've been having these assurances year in, year out. But the political class, they keep falling our hand, as we will say in Warri side. Makinde raises panel to disburse relief funds to explosion victims. And the OPC says that the government should crash food prices to address palliative stampedes. I find this word palliatives completely insulting. But that's a story for another day. This idea, what it does is it demeans you. It takes away the dignity that you have to go and line up 4-5 hours for a bag of rice. And Nigeria is not going through a war at a time of peace. That dignity a man has for putting no matter how small a chicken and rice on his table has been taken away by all this struggle for palliatives, which in itself has been politicized. It's been politicized. It's not a way to go. Oh, we shall be offering free rice for... It's a lie. At the end of the day, it goes to politicians and their associates. And some of them, like he has shown, has even ended up in the warehouses of the elites to be repackaged and resold to the poor. Let us open up our eyes on this Christmas day as we are praying to God. There is no magic. The magic you need is for you to open your head, for God to put something inside it, for us collectively to find a way out of this mess that we find ourselves in.
Palliative. Anyway, more from the Punch, this time on page 31. Oni's ex-queen, others to spend Christmas, New Year in Agodi prison. My God.
I want to be careful. I want people to understand my reaction to what I'm about to say because it's a very sensitive issue. I'm a bit worried about our legal system that incarcerates people for a while long before they have a trial to prove their innocence or otherwise. And now I'm talking in general terms that I think we must find another way. Look at the issue of Dele Farotimi, for example. Why should a man linger for almost 2 weeks in detention trying to sort out how he will be charged to court, and yet he's not granted bail? What if at the end of the day he's innocent? So I'm not criticizing for keeping them in custody in this, but that we must find another way. Is there no way, for example, especially where the police can grant them bail, put them under some kind of guard until they are charged to court, and then they go prove their innocence or otherwise? Because what we have here is you can make life uncomfortable for people by just accusing them in the first instance, and verily, verily, I say unto you, if care is not taken, they probably spend a minimum of 4 or 5 days, maybe for something they are completely innocent of. Because in this particular instance, these are two well-known people. Fair enough, they might have a case to answer. But the question is, shouldn't we be a bit more humane to make sure that people do not suffer unduly? Don't get me wrong, I am not saying that whether they are guilty or not is for the judge to decide. But continuously, every time I read this, if you read newspapers regularly and you have to do this job, you can see a trend that frightens you. Especially in some cases, you can actually see a trend, and I think that there might be a need to review the trend. For example, if you set up a judicial commission to actually find out, 3-man panel, find out what exactly happened, and from there, you know whether you're going to charge anybody or not. Because it could have been done in innocence. At the end of the day, you might find that they were not particularly guilty. And in most cases like that. So that is my appeal. But the story here says that. But I also understand the sentiment that to quell, the hurt and whatever, and people's reactions, there'll be some satisfaction in seeing them being put away. But the comment I made is in general terms, not specifically in this case. In this case, the chief magistrate ordered the remand of Naomi Shilekwola and Uruyomi Hamzat and the principal of Islamic High School. After issuing the remand order, the chief magistrate adjourned the case till January 13. Okay? Meaning that the defendants will spend Christmas and New Year in custody. Have they been presumed guilty? Okay? And the story goes to say that the police had arrested them after a children's Christmas fun fair they organized turned tragic as 35 children were killed. And it gives a story, a history of what actually happened. So that's what, yes.
Is this matter really even within the jurisdiction of a magistrate court?
Well, I don't know what they were charged for. The charge is not here. Okay, I think that the police just wanted a remand order.
Yes,
and I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried that the police always want a remand order when they are investigating.
And they go straight.
What I think happens in other crimes is, depending on the offense, the police can put a restraining order for you. Please make sure that you'll be available whilst we're investigating. But here, there is some mentality at the back of our minds that punishes people who are accused, even before they face trial. I know this. Do you understand?
No, sir, through experience, my time in Port Harcourt, River State, and other parts of the country, I've come to the conclusion that anytime the police want to put you behind bars in prison to ensure that you're remanded for as long as possible, they go to the magistrate.
And get a remand
straight, And some of these cases are outside the jurisdiction, most of them in my observation, of a magistrate. Okay, things bordering on, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, the lawyers can tell us. Manslaughter, voluntarily or involuntarily, murder, anything. I'm not saying that's this case here. Or defamation. Are they magistrate cases?
Well, I don't know. I think for what you have said, I'll be inclined to want to bring in a lawyer maybe on Tuesday.
You know,
I need a clear understanding, because a case where you are accused of whatever charge, of whatever degree, okay, and you end up suffering your loss of your freedom, albeit beyond 24-48 hours, is becoming worrying. Because what it means is that the way things are going, based on accusation alone, you can suffer a lot in the hands of the authorities.
They're just trying to fulfill all righteousness. That will take them to court within 24 hours or 48 hours, depending on the distance from the point of arrest to the court and over. They're just trying to fulfill all righteousness. Sir, why should the police be arresting and arraigning before investigation? I thought it should be you investigate and then you arraign.
I will tell you, there was I think it was Tunji Braithwaite, the late Tunji Braithwaite, who traced in one of his lectures, traces the origin of the police to when they were under the colonial government, and where police arrested you to put the sorry for the foul word, excuse me, to put the niggers in place. Let's just take him away. You understand what I'm saying? There's a mentality within the police, a prosecuting mentality, that presumes you completely guilty. Apart from that, it also then becomes a business enterprise. We can't run away from that fact. It becomes a complete business enterprise. And I think there's a need. The essence of democracy is to make life comfortable for the citizens. And I think there's a need for the political class to look into this, because one day it can also be used against them. If you have a majority of APC, for example, in the various houses of assemblies and the National Assembly, who knows which government will be in place tomorrow and use it against them?
Like one journalist in Ghana said, now people are going to be picking my calls. The guys will leave, but I'm going to be picking my calls.
Yes. We must have a just system. I tell you this, Kofi, I'm of the belief that if you have a just system, you have less crime.
Absolutely.
Because what this also does, it models up investigations. For example, how if you have that mentality focused on locking up, how do you investigate with an open mind?
Sir, do you know at some point it became a trend, in Rivers State that the police were conducting investigation by confessional statement. So they arrest someone, and then their entire investigation is based on what the suspect confessed.
Look, I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry. This is just my feeling. And I don't want to touch on anybody's raw nerve. But I hope you listen to this with an open mind. In the case of what happened in this Ibadan thing, 9 chances out of 10 it was not premeditated. Yeah. I don't think there was a plan to kill people. So what you might be looking at most is negligence. Now, rather than have them locked up, why don't you set up a panel of professionals, a judicial panel, which is what I think the government should have done immediately. Have a 3-man panel headed by a judge, because it's a big 30. You're talking of 35 souls.
Oh, just do your investigation.
No, not do your investigation. You have a panel where everybody comes to explain the role that they had, because what you're looking for is not, I don't think, a criminal intent. What you're looking for is who has been negligent where. Do you understand what I'm saying? Who has been negligent where? So you should really have something like an open hearing. Okay? An open hearing where even those who attended can be invited. They can come and make their presentations in the open, rather than this what I would consider a drama. But on Tuesday, I'll try and see if I can get a lawyer to come and sort that out for us.
All right, to the Vanguard, back we go. Alleged defamation. The Faroutimi against freedom from prison, denies lying against anyone. Why we can't debar Faroutimi? LPDC tells Afe Babalola.
Well, he has won one case already. But again, I think this just falls in line with I don't think there was any reason, apart from an intent to punish him, even before his head, to have kept this gentleman on for so long. I've heard the submissions of the like of my well-respected Professor Dinkalu on all this. And it frightened me. Is Dele Farotimi today? You could jolly indeed those who are perpetuating this, if there are any, should realize that you could be creating a president, a monster that could come back to haunt you in future. But Merry Christmas to Dele Farotimi. We'll see where this case goes. Thank you.
We have to go. I would have loved us to end with this comment from the Vanguard. No Merry Christmas for Nigerians, but we have time.
Well, it's Merry Christmas still, anyway.
All right. Jimi, so thank you very much for your time. You're back at 9 o'clock.
Yes, so I have a bumper, a special Dear Bumi today with a friend from across the border. Yes.
I won't miss that one.
Sorry?
I won't miss it.
It might be for adults only, though.
Well, for reasons best known to me. Okay, the news today is up next.
Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria.